Hi everybody, this is Michael Sandoval with MUSE, and a couple weeks ago we stopped to talk with an amazing individual, Wasim Hajjiri, who talked about his inspirational story coming from Jordan to the United States to find his dream job to work with Qualcomm, and he wrote a book just recently called Wasim The Dream. So we're going to be talking to him up next. Tell us a little bit about the book and what was the inspiration in writing and telling your story.
My father, as I talk about him in the book, is a big role model in my life. He taught me everything about working hard, dedication, persistence, because his story was very unique. He was born in a time where, he essentially started with nothing, worked very hard from a young age, and he raised me and my 8 brothers and sisters. At the end of 2015, unfortunately, he passed away, and that's when I actually started writing the book. I just wanted to, pass on his message and my message to other people. Everything that I learned from him. It's an ongoing process, and I also started listening to motivational tapes from Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, and learned a lot of things from them as well as I was going through different goals. And I, condensed all of that into this book, and that's how it all started, the writing, basically.
So you grew up in Jordan.
Yes.
Decided to just take the leap and come over to the United States. What was the mentality of saying, you know what, I'm going to leave my family in my hometown, and let's take that and try to make a life in another country?
Well, the first thing is that I came with a big amount of optimism. I only thought about the opportunities here. I didn't think about any setbacks or any of that. So I started setting goals, For example, my first major goal was to get a job at Qualcomm. I was from Jordan. I got my electrical engineering degree. And as soon as I came here, I said, I'm going to get into Qualcomm, which is this big tech company. And it's going to start my life, because there's a lot of opportunities and big chances for growth. With a positive attitude and strong beliefs, it kept me going because it wasn't an easy path, Initially, I was learning all about the culture. It was a brand new start. I had no friends. And so getting to know people and adapt and all of that was a fun journey for me. And then, fortunately, both of my parents were very supportive all throughout, since I moved here, and they pushed me, every single day, and they stuck by my side, and especially my father, going again back to, as he was a big source of inspiration for me. So that was the attitude going into it.
So going into bodybuilding, how did that help in all this transformation that was going on?
Well, bodybuilding for me started a long time ago. I got into weightlifting since I was 17. I started with a professional trainer back in Jordan. He's very well known over there. I was just starting out, but he told me if you continue to work and train hard, in the future, you might have a chance to compete. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was a big fan of him, still a big fan. And it was my dream, to stand on stage and compete. And I had this vision for doing what he did. When I joined my first competition, I talk about it in the book, I went there expecting that I was going to get first place, and then I got last place. And it was a total, flop. Again, I put the goal in front of me, to keep going and never give up. And slowly, I started joining more and more competitions, all the way up to the Team USA Nationals. And then finally over there, I won. I got a gold medal, and then I qualified to compete at the Natural Olympia, which is basically the Olympics of natural bodybuilding and fitness, where I won another 2 gold medals. And that's how, the dream turned into a reality.
What aspects did you feel from that mental, physical role in order to make sure that you're constantly up to par, that you took into your life in order to get the Qualcomm job, to get that degree, and to get into one of the top schools?
Yes.
How did that meld?
That's a great question. I think all of athletes know this as well. Training is not just about the physical aspect, it's actually mostly mental, it's all about the psychology. Because many times, when you go to the gym, you're not gonna feel like training. Pushing yourself every single day to train no matter what gives you, builds a strong psychological muscle. When you force yourself to do it, and you put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, that's when it causes growth. As the time passes, you keep getting stronger and stronger. And then I talk about the support system, A coach keeps you on the edge all of the time, When you're going through the hard days, you talk to your coach, they help you out. In business, if you have a business coach or a mentor, you do the same thing, they help you out, they make sure that you stay on track and not fall down. So I think having the support system is a big thing that I learned from sports.
When you do have your lows and you do have your low points, you're able to recover. For a lot of people who are watching this who have had those low points, who are trying to recover, what kind of message do you give them? Because that's something that you have gone through.
Yeah.
You've gone through the low points, and look at where you're at now. There wouldn't be a book if you didn't go through those low points.
Well, exactly. Like you mentioned, everyone has their own, in their own lives, they have their own issues and they're going through struggles. And for every person, it's different. And I think the best thing to do is start listening to these tapes that I talked about, or reading motivational books, getting, into a positive mindset, especially when everything around you is negative. That's key. When my father passed away, that's when I started getting heavy into listening to these motivational audio tapes, like Tony Robbins, for example. He's, for me, number one on the list. On and on, he talks about how to deal with tough situations, and then his voice alone, when you're listening to him, it really helps. And then the second thing is, again, the people around you. When I was going through that downtime, I made sure to be around friends who I know that are supportive, and that really kept me going. And I think most of us have that best friend or that mother or that cousin that might be able to help you. And it's okay to ask for help, and to show vulnerability, it's actually very powerful.
What was it inside you that kind of like said, I can't be sad. I gotta follow what my dad taught me to keep moving forward, to keep moving forward?
Initially, I went into, just the sadness part for a while. And then I started to think of it as, okay, now is the time for me to carry, his message, everything that he taught me through myself, and then teach it and pass it on to other people. I started thinking about it. Okay, now I'm going to do my goals for him, to make him proud in his honor, And that slowly started to lift me up again. So I started thinking about him coming with me, being by my side, his soul with me. And that started to help me and push me through, and I started to get back up slowly. It just takes time as well, It's time.
How did you come up with these 5 steps? What was the thought process, and what was the application in order to make sure, hey, this actually worked? This is definitely something we got to keep. This is a
exactly. So basically, the five points, like if I just want to glance through them, I talk about number 1 is goal setting. Number 2 is building, confidence. Basically, it's a strong mental muscle. Number 3, which is a big thing, is getting the best mentors and people to help you. and that is a major one. And then number 4 would be making decisions. And finally, I talk a lot about how to stand out, how to be different from everyone else. When I started with goal setting, the first point, okay, so I had my goal. After trying the things that worked, I phased out the things that didn't work and came up with this one idea of, having what's your goal, what's your purpose for attaining this goal, and then you build an action step based on people who were successful at it, and you model what they did. And for the second point, which talks about the psychology, building the confidence. I noticed that when I was listening to all of these tapes and reading, I read a lot of books about it, about, optimism, positivity, how to be in a positive mind frame. And then the other points were kind of the same, just through trial and error and doing research, reading books, talking to people, applying it mostly in my own life, but most importantly, how it's going to affect other people. So through a lot of testing, basically, and then I figured out, okay, this can apply to almost everyone. I also created another ebook that comes with the book that goes through these strategies in detail, step by step, 1, 2, 3. That can be that comes with the book as a secondary program.
With the way things are nowadays, because I think this book is a great book for millennials.
Yeah.
Who feel that instant gratification needs to be done. As soon as I get out of college, I have a degree, I should get a job. I know a lot of interns at college that I'm just kind of like, what's your thinking? I think this book really could tell them a lot into how the hard work that you put in, you'll get out. What would you say to millennials right now?
My message to millennials is that the opportunities are endless. But, this with underlining but, you have to work hard, but most importantly, work smart. Now, all of the millennials, Google is your best friend. Anything that you want to do, you can Google it. You can look for the people who were successful at it, and you learn what they did. You do the same actions. It is hard work, but this is more smart work, and you'll get the same results, And then dealing with the obstacles, the ups and downs, that's where, reading books comes in, and then the other psychology stuff that we talked about. But really my message is that the opportunities are endless, especially in the U.S. For us, being here in this country, it's a big blessing, because if you go outside of the U.S., you will not find these opportunities, If you go out there and set a goal, you will accomplish it. But going back to getting a coach, someone that is going to push them, especially for millennials, and young people, I think everyone needs guidance. We still, all of us, Tony Robbins, he is 57 right now. He mentioned that he still has coaches. For millennials, if they get a coach, number 1, number 2, surround themselves with people who are doing the same thing, someone on the same level, that are people who are ambitious, who have a good positive mindset, so that they can keep going. And then with all of the online resources that we have, meetup.com or Facebook groups, that's another big support system that is free, and you can talk to people who are going after the same goals, either finding a job, an internship, writing a book, any different goal. You can find a lot of good things on Facebook groups, meetup groups, etc.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I think this book is it came out at a great time of what's going on right now. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's an honor to speak with you.
Thanks. Thank you, Wasim, for stopping with us here on MUSE TV. If you're looking to order the book is available on Amazon by just searching Wasim The Dream. Thank you for watching MUSE. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching MUSE. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to see all of our upcoming videos.